So first off, let's talk about the lyrics because the lyrics are just bananas all over this project. For example, let's take the title track, Pure Comedy, where we see John roasting the shit out of religion. For example, comedy. Now that's what I call pure comedy. Just waiting until the part where they start to believe they're at the center of everything. And some all-powerful being endowed this horror show with meaning. Oh, the religions are the best. They worship themselves, yet they're totally obsessed with risen zombies, celestial virgins, magic tricks, these unbelievable outfits. And they get terribly upset when you question their sacred text, written by woman-hating epileptics. Whew! Or, like track 2, Total Entertainment Forever, where John, aka Josh Tillman, but John envisions mankind's near future with a vision that feels like a really fucked up version of a Black Mirror episode. Like, for example, betting Taylor Swift every night inside the Oculus Rift, and now the future's definition is so much higher than it was last year. It's like the images have all become real and someone's living my life for me out in the mirror, which I'm assuming he was making a reference to, like, you know, like 4K TVs, for example, high definition. Also, there's not bad for a race of demented monkeys from a cave to a city to a permanent party. When the historians find us, we'll be in our homes, plugged into our hubs, skin and bones, a frozen smile on every face as the stories replay. This must have been a wonderful place. Jesus Christ. Take track number 3, things that would have been helpful to know before the revolution. There's just some fascinating satire and comedy that can be found here, like with "It got too hot and so we overthrew the system because there's no place for human existence like right here on this bright blue marble orbited by trash. Man, there's no beating that. It was no big thing to give up the way of life we had." God damn. I wonder if he's kind of making a slight reference to global warming there. Track number 4, Ballad of the Dying Man, which I thought was a deeply clever track with John. He delivers a tale about a dying man who loves to critique, who really loves his commentary of reality, as though the world revolves around his thoughts because they are just so great. And yet, is John referencing himself as the dying man as well? Just mind-blowing shit. Track number 5, Birdie, which I really enjoyed. I love the lyrics here aimed at birds. It almost feels like a Louis C.K. skit, you know, with him stating, "Take off, little winged creature, it's nothing but teens and ravens and antics on concrete down here, and are you really as free as all the great songs would have me believe? Let me tell you why someday, Birdie, you're gonna envy me. Some dream of a world written in lines of code. Well, I hope they engineer politics, romance, and edifice. 2 out of 3 ain't bad." Jesus. And I mean, we could go on and on. We could literally go through each track like this. I mean, the lyrics are just brilliant. My God. I mean, yeah, I mean, we could go on and on, but this album is incredibly jam-packed with these kinds of startling comments that I loved deciphering and reflecting on. Also, the outro on the last track is just bliss. I mean, remove the lyrics in this moment, it's a haunting sequence where the instrumental feels epic and cinematic, as if these sounds should be closing out a future Paul Thomas Anderson film. And speaking of film, if Tyler Durden was a real person, he would probably be in love with this album. It's ambitious stuff. I mean, my biggest gripe with this album is that this isn't the kind of instrumentation for me to get lost in again and again. It's always good, but nothing exceptional. And I'm not a giant fan of this sort of indie rock, folk-ish sounds. However, combined with John's magnetic voice that reminds me of a younger Elton John and his dark, dense, deeply thought-provoking lyrics on Pure Comedy, this album is simply just fucking insane with all those elements strung together. And especially with messages sure to enrage John, or aka Josh Tillman's haters, and make the lovers of this album dizzy from its concepts and sharp satire. This thing was just a hell of a ride. It's a hell of an intellectual ride, I gotta say. My favorite tracks are Pure Comedy. Pure Comedy was actually the best one on here for me. But favorite tracks: Pure Comedy, track number 1. Track number 3, Things That Would Have Been Helpful to Know Before the Revolution. Really love that track. And I do love the final track, So I'm Growing Old, on Magic Mountain. I thought this was fantastic. And again, the outro that I was speaking to before was just really, really great. I loved it. This album is riveting as fuck. I am feeling a 9 out of 10 on this thought-provoking bohemian. But you know, what'd you think about this album? Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you haven't checked it out, I would highly recommend checking it out. And yeah, I think that's all I got. If you enjoyed this review, definitely make sure to smash that like button and subscribe as well. In fact, in the lower right hand corner of the screen, you should see a little circular button. You can tap that to instantaneously subscribe. And I'm out. Huzzah.